Hey everyone, my name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. I am answering some questions here that people had. The question is, and I'm getting a lot of questions like this. I did the ratio investing, swapping metals, and I made comments about platinum being very cheap on a ratio basis in relationship to all the other metals, and that is a true statement. So I'm getting a lot of questions because the two most common metals that people own are obviously gold and silver, and the question is, I'm sitting on a bunch of silver, could be coins and bars. Should I swap half for platinum, or is silver just too hot for potential right now? I'm kind of nervous of JPM coming in and smashing silver down soon. Here, the way that I view things is it's got to be different than a lot of other people. I own a lot of silver, all right, a lot, and I don't view this. What I'm trying to do is establish that I have a lot of skin in the game myself. I'm not trying to say just because I have a lot of silver. I have skin in the game just like everyone else, and it's a lot of skin. I am viewing silver as something that cannot be manipulated on a long-term basis. They can manipulate the paper as much as they want. It does not matter. What I'm looking at, and I'm looking out some years into the future, is that I think silver could be one of the most valuable commodities that on Earth, period. Now, I'm looking out there probably at a further distance into the future than most people are. I'm not looking at them manipulating it this month, this week, this day. Doesn't matter. I don't even care what happens. I'm looking at it as, what if your currency fails? What if the currency fails? What do you want to be in? You want to be in stocks? I don't. I want to be in physical precious metals. I can transact physical precious metals with anyone I want. Now, I also look at, what if energy becomes scarce? Just a what if. What if oil isn't there in the quantities that we need? And I don't think electricity and batteries, I don't think that's going to make up the difference. I don't think those are, on a long-term perspective, I don't know if we can bridge that gap. I think we're going to have to go to a energy efficiency mode. If we go to an energy efficiency mode and all the value in the world is in commodities, like the number one commodity is oil, the number two is silver. If silver has all of these great, fantastic uses, and we can't get it out of the ground as easily, for whatever reason that is, declining ore grades, energy gets more expensive or more scarce. On and on and on and on. Countries start to nationalize things. I want to hold the most valuable things in this world. What are the most valuable things in this world? I think gold, silver, and platinum those three have extreme value to society and to humankind, to you, to me. It can preserve our wealth. It is a final payment. It's not debt. And I don't care what JP Morgan, I don't care what any of these people do in the short term. I'm looking at this longer than that. I'm looking at, how do I store value? How do I store my hard-earned work and efforts over decades of work in something that is not going to go to zero, that cannot be manipulated with time? And if we're going to use this stuff in ever greater quantities, I don't see how it's going to become less valuable. I think it's going to become more valuable as we find more and more uses for silver, for platinum, for all of these things. It's going to take time, though. This is a long-term perspective. I'm not looking at it from the next year or two or three. And I do think it's going to go up in this next commodity bull market, but I might not ever sell my silver, my physical holdings of silver. That's how diamond hands I am. And I know a lot of people, they get very nervous over the short term. I just don't see that nervousness. I'm more nervous, not for a crash. They want you to be scared. They want you to be scared so that you sell your silver. I'm so not scared that I'm thinking actually of loading up even more. I think they're doing weird stuff behind the scenes here. I think they are scared and they don't know what to do. Did you know that they stopped reporting the M2 money supply? Why is that? Did you know Jeffrey Christian started a channel for CPM Group? Why is that going down? Why are all these ETFs changing their prospectus, saying that they may not be able to back more shares with silver because they can't get the silver? I think we are very close to something that I don't know what the other side looks like. I don't know how this is going to play out. I just have a feeling that now's the time to hold on to your silver, and you better have diamond hands. Now's the time to be like, I'm not letting a single ounce go. Because if something were to go wrong, I want to see what the heck is on the other side. And I want to be, I don't want to be scared out of it. I'm not going to be scared out of it. And I'm not, for some reason, it's like something big is coming. I can't describe it. I don't have words for you, but something big is coming. I've been in the market since the mid to early 2000s is when I started looking at some of these things, like 2003, 4. That's when I started working in a regular job and starting to research into this stuff. And right now, I would be sitting on silver. I would, if anything, I'd be accumulating it. I wouldn't be selling it. And I just think something big is coming. We're seeing all of these signs. It's like this ETF can't get it. This ETF then changes and can't get it. They did the margin requirements went up. They stopped reporting M2 money supply. Yields are going higher. It's like, whoa, everything's kind of, what's going on here? They started a YouTube channel, Jeffrey Christian on CPM Group. Well, why do you do that? Why is he saying that there's nothing to worry about? When they say there's nothing to worry about, you start worrying. You start loading up, and you do not listen to them. That's kind of my viewpoint. So I would be sitting on silver. I wouldn't trade it for platinum. If you have money and you've got income, maybe you start buying and diversifying a little bit into platinum with that income that you have. Save up, buy an ounce here, buy an ounce there. Maybe it's a half ounce, whatever you can get. I think platinum has many great uses in society. I think we'll find plenty more uses for it. And it is a substitute for palladium, which is priced much higher. And it could potentially be a substitute for rhodium. So those things have gone. They're gone. They've gone through the roof. And platinum's still here. It's just sitting there. And its uses are going to be ramped up very soon in the near future. There's going to be deficits. I think it's a great metal to have in your portfolio. Remember, I'm a big physical metals guy. I don't like ETFs. I don't like some of these producers. If we have a problem in South Africa and you're going to want leverage to it, you're going to probably invest in a South African company. If that's the company that has problems, why would I want my money with them? I want the physical. And if we have massive inflation, I'm going to be protected as the price of that physical metal goes up. The input costs for some of these mining companies are going to go up as inflation goes up because it's probably going to affect oil, which is one of their largest input costs. So I like just buying the commodities themselves and kind of bypassing some of the mining companies. And that's why I'm heavily loaded in royalty companies. Royalty companies don't have those input cost problems. Mining companies do. That's why I like oil and uranium, because uranium is an energy product. And if you look at some of my other videos on the leverages, the leverage of uranium is so large that their input costs go up at a slower rate than the price of uranium does. So they're going to always have an expanding margin if that leverage is the same as previous bull market returns. So I'm not as worried about uranium. The gold mining companies, I'd be a little bit more worried. But that's why I have so many royalty companies and not so many gold mining companies. I've got a lot of silver mining companies still, but I also think that silver has exceptional value as a metal itself. And I think that we're going to run into problems here at some point over the next year or two with the physical delivery of it. And I don't want to be in an ETF that has, quote, some metal. I don't know how you'd get that metal. If they don't have the metal and everybody finds that out, how much is that ETF worth? Nothing. I don't want to be caught in that. I'd rather just buy the physical. Give me the physical, call it good. That's my view take on all this stuff. So if you like this content, guys, subscribe to the channel. ride this bull market up on this channel with us. We talk a lot about commodities and all sorts of things. Leave comments below if you guys have any questions. Let me know your questions. Let me know your concerns. And maybe I'll do a video on it. Thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.